Sorry, your boys just ran. All right, let's go. Final chapter. The Resolve of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. So that's why that felt like the last chapter, because technically speaking, it was. Motherfucker, dude. The Resolve of Ryunosuke. That's gonna really be fucking nagging me in the back of my goddamn head. Oh, do I need to shut up? Oh, never mind. We're just... Fuck me, I guess! 3rd of November, 9:14 a.m., the Old Bailey Defendant's Antechamber! So, the time's finally come. Today, we unravel everything. I'll be counting on your support more than ever today, Mrs. Otto. My depression is kicking in. Mrs. Otto? Ah! The fuck! I think my lungs hit my ribs there. Oh, I'm bleeding out, Susanoo. Oh, fuck! Oh, God, I'm so sorry, Naruto. I'm dying. You've killed me, Susanoo. This is the end of Ryunosuke Naruhodo's resolve. Oh, God. Okay. Oh, no. What's the matter, Mr. Naruhodo? You threw me, bitch. Nothing? I was just saying that I'll be relying on your support today, but now I'm relying on the support of a goddamn cast. I'm so sorry. Of course, I know I can be rather incompetent at times, but I shan't let you down, except for when you let me sideways. Oh, would you mind helping me on my feet, then? Oh, dear, I'm really very sorry. My bones. Susanoo-san isn't her usual self at all, but that's hardly surprising, I suppose. She just found out that her father is the partner of a world-famous detective, not to mention... Good morning, sir! Sir? Oh, fuck, it's me, hello! I almost forgot I was part of this goddamn trial! I forgot who the fuck this was about! Sorry, I didn't even read that line. Wow, I'm just really fumbling all the bags. Lord Van Zykes! Thank you for all your efforts yesterday. That was like a weirdly, like, more energy in the voice and like happiness in the voice. That was weird. I didn't like that. What? Did I hear that correctly? What? Oh, no, nothing. Just hope we can clear things up today. I really can't make this man out. His face says I hate you, but his words are almost jovial today. In fact, he hasn't been very Reaper-like at all since this all began yesterday. Lord Van Zykes isn't the Reaper, Mr. Naruhodo. God, can you stop reading my mind for once? Good point. Fair enough. The Reaper? I suppose in hindsight, I shouldn't have allowed that misconception to go unchallenged. Huh? It was my tacit? Hold on. I actually have, fucking my browser open so I can...
Tacit.
Tacit. So I was right, yeah, it is. Tacit. Okay, got it. Here's my tacit... Great start. It was my tacit acceptance of that pseudonym. My failure to stop the Reaper becoming something more than a mere legend that led to all this. But you're not to blame for that, Lord Van Zykes. It's only because serious crime in the capital dropped off so sharply when the public started calling you that. That's why you didn't say anything, isn't it? To be frank, I'm not sure that was the sole reason. What do you mean? There was a rumor at the time that the Reaper was really the... There was a rumor at the time that the Reaper was really the ghost of my late brother. Oh, and you wanted to believe that. That having been slain by the evil killer, Clint's restless spirit returned as some sort of demigod to wield the deadly blade of justice, where I, by dint of the law, could not. Yes, we've heard that story too. When I lost him. Oh shit. I felt as though I'd lost my guiding light. I didn't know where to go or what to do. And so, in some small way, I wonder if perhaps those rumors made me feel his absence a little less keenly. God, fucking... At this point, I think Van Zykes is just my favorite fucking prosecutor. Like, just in the series, bro. Before this, it was the... I always forget which one is which of the two brothers. Hold on, I'm Googling this real quick so that I can say this right. Prosecutor, hold on. Clavier Gavin. Sorry, I get him and Kristoff's names mixed up all the fucking time. But before this, it was... before this, my favorite was Clavier. And then it was Nayuda from... Actually, no. It was Clavier and then Black Quill from Dual Destinies and then Nayuda. And now Nayuda's in 4th place. Van Zykes might be my favorite, I'm just saying. Even if I knew it was just an illusion. Just some nonsense conjured up by an over-imaginative public. He was obviously extremely important to you. Lord Clint Van Zykes. Well, what's important now is uncovering the truth. That's all that matters. I know that you didn't take anyone's life. And I intend to prove that beyond a shadow of a doubt in court today. I never thought I'd say this, but I can see it in your eyes. That burning desire to cut through all the lies and deception. I can't deny it any longer. You are a lawyer of absolute integrity. Thank you. Now tell me, why do I detect the scent of expensive tea leaves in the air? Sup, bitch? Oh, Iris! When did you get here? Oh! I brought you one of my special blends! Hurley loves it! He says it helps him to clear his head. I thank you. Oh! It's Irish? What's Irish? Did I... Oh, the tea. I'm fucking stupid. That's surely the first and last time I've ever seen a sight like this. You seem different today, Iris. Oh? Sort of subdued, I suppose. I am not! 30% tea, 70% alcohol. Sorry, I really like that. Just, this shit really helps me think in the morning. Just glugs the fucking thing. It just, I like to imagine, right? Iris, Susanoo, Ryunosuke, and Shomes are sitting at a table. Iris gives him that specific blend. It's like, this is good. And he just drinks it. It's like, whoa! Just Ryunosuke like leans over. What's in that? Well, see, it's 30% tea leaves, a little bit of water, and then a shit ton of tequila. I don't know why I said tequila. That'd be like rum or something because of the color. Or like whiskey. Probably whiskey, right? Whatever. This bit's dumb. I am not! What happened yesterday is obviously still playing on her mind a lot. Fuck me sideways, Iris. This will come in handy in 2020. Just downs that shit. She's clearly very troubled about having stolen that autopsy report from Dr. Seitz's laboratory. All right then. Good luck to you both. I have to make a move now. Oh, you're not staying? I thought you'd want to watch today's proceedings. Well, I'd
cheer you on, obviously. But I've got lots to get ready.
Get ready? For what?
Oh, yeah. Would you like to take this?
Is that your... What are you doing, girl? Isn't that one of the little felt dolls that's usually dangling from your knapsack?
Yeah, it's a lucky charm. A little Hurley that I made once.
A Hurley? Looks more like a Hairley to me. Ah, shut the fuck up.
If for some reason you completely run out of options in the trial today, then just pull this little Hurley's ear as hard as you possibly can.
What? Pull his ears?
That's right. It's a way to bring good luck. I think you might need it.
Now do I investigate it? The answer is yes. You think what we'll need is luck? Let me examine. What is there anything about this little fox ears that are important? What a charming little rabbity version of Mr. Sholmes. Do you suppose this is how Iris sees him? As a rabbit? You're right, Mr. Naruhodo. Your eyes are vertibly boring into the poor doll's eyes. Oh, sorry, I was just wondering. What do you suppose would happen if I were to tug its ears with all my might right now? I'm sure we'll find out when the time is right. To become a proper gentleman, you really must learn stoic patience. I want to know! Okay, so there's like no kind of hint as to what this could possibly do. Okay, I guess we just gotta fuck around and find out.
I just sneaked a peek inside the courtroom. And it seemed very different to normal.
Yes, it would seem that a certain someone has decided to pull out all the stops. Gives... Okay, we might need... Oh, God. We might need to dial it back on the adult humor a little bit. Also, I'm probably gonna... Like, when the trial actually starts, I'm probably gonna do a little less actual jokes that I come up with just because I want to relatively take it seriously. Okay. What does that mean? Wait, I didn't... Oh, yeah, no. I did read that. I'm stupid. What about Mr. Sholmes, Iris?
I don't know. He was out all night and he hasn't come home by the time I left this morning.
It's a voodoo doll, Mr. Naruhodo. The bunny ears aren't synced to my ears. Not exactly. Jesus. Was Professor Migatoba out all night too, do you think, Mrs. Otto? Yes, it would seem so. I telegrammed the hotel this morning. And apparently they didn't come back to their rooms last night at all. They? Father and Judge Jigoku, I mean. Judge Jigoku, too. That's right. Nobody appears to have seen either of them since yesterday. Counsel for the defense and the defendant. Court is about to be in session. Please make your way inside the courtroom at once.
Good luck then, Bruno. Good luck, Susie.
Yeah. Thanks, Iris.
And you, Mr. Reaper. Hope it goes well.
Once again, I thank you for the delicious tea. It was very soothing.
Oh, I'm so glad.
We must go inside now, Lord Van Zykes. Alright, here we go. The last trial. Lord Van Zykes has always been the formidable prosecutor I've had to lock horns with in court. But not today. Today I battle with another in pursuit of the truth. My best friend. My boyfriend. Okay, I think for this trial, again, for the sake of, like, actually having a serious tone with this, I'm not gonna do the boyfriend joke. Just, again, because I want to have, like, a relatively serious, you know, thing of this. You know what I mean? Briz, because I assume you have played the game before. Is there a, to be continued thing that shows up? Like, is there, like, breaks within the trial? Because if there is, I'm gonna try to play until that first to be continued. That's what I'm hoping for. Now I understand what it was that drew me here to Britain all those months ago. Now I know. Yes, there is. Okay, cool. Then I'm gonna play for this stream. I'm gonna play until like the first to be continued happens, regardless of when it shows up, unless it's like right here, which I doubt it would be. But like, whenever that first to be continued shows up, that's where I'm gonna stop for today, because I got a lot of shit I gotta do. It's a busy day, and the stream just kind of got in the way a little bit, but it'll be fine. Now I know what destiny had in store for me. It's all been leading up to this one day, to this one trial, to this one final reckoning. Here we go. 3rd of November, 9:30 a.m., the Old Bailey courtroom! Oh. Oh, wait, never mind. I thought no one was here. Feels even more oppressive here than it did yesterday. There are cold stares piercing me like knives from all sides today. Mr. Naruhodo, look! What? Lord Strongheart? Hello, what the what? Kazuma must have known beforehand.
The ramifications of this trial now extend far beyond the murder of one Scotland Yard inspector. In fact, events have come to light that threaten to rock the very foundation of our country's legal system.
The escape of a condemned criminal on the night of his execution, the subsequent unlawful shooting of the man, and the revelation that prison staff must have been complicit in the jailbreak.
Britain is currently hosting influential members of the judiciary from countries all around the world. It is imperative that we uncover the truth in these proceedings to avoid international embarrassment. By royal decree, this will continue to be a closed trial.
Oh, what the fuck?
And one over which I, Male Strongheart, exercise total and unequivocal authority.
Oh. He's the judge, jury, and executioner. Holy shit. The 6 jurors' flames just...
As was the case in yesterday's proceedings, those here present in the public gallery are distinguished members of our judiciary assembled to bear witness to a fair judicial process.
In other words, a collection of your acolytes, Lord Strongheart. Oh, suddenly not so impartial.
On a personal note, I find this most distressing, Lord Van Zykes. You were a prosecutor of exceptional talent. Much like your brother Clint, in fact.
Oh, drama. Also, real quick, before we actually, get fully started here, I have to pee. So, actually, I should probably do that on a point that, has music. Oh, shit! Yo! Wait! Whoa! That's terrifying! That sound... Fuck you! Jesus!
In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session.
That, for real.
For the trial of Beric Van Zykes, who officially stands accused of murder.
Okay. Jesus. Good lord, hold on. Alright, I gotta go to the bathroom. Good fucking Christ. Listen to the music while I do my thing. We're back. We are back. Sorry, I also, while I was up, I just decided to refill my water.
So yeah, here we fucking go.
I'm gonna try to, like, make less jokes during this because I do want to take it, like, relatively seriously.
So yeah, that's what's happening.
Here we go.
Our counsels for the prosecution and defense. Are you in full readiness to proceed?
The defense is ready, my lord.
As is the prosecution. Yesterday's proceedings brought to light a shocking and disturbing fact. There was a side to the victim, Inspector Tobias Gregson, that was unknown to his superiors in Scotland Yard.
Yes, he was carrying out operations in secret which Scotland Yard knew nothing about.
And in those clandestine operations, he had an accomplice.
Mr. Daily Vigil. He would be given the inspector's identification and present himself around the capital in order to establish credible alibis for Gregson. In that way, Gregson appeared to be carrying out his regular Scotland Yard work when in fact he wasn't.
At the end of yesterday's session, Mr. Vigil, who had been suffering from amnesia, regained his memory. It would appear he buried his memories of the time deep inside himself as a means of self-preservation. Because whilst he was engaged as chief warder at Barclay Prison, he abetted the convict's escape.
Mr. Vigil is currently recuperating at St. Sinner's. He's recovered enough to give a signed statement about his movements on the day prior to the incident. He's formally admitted to posing as Gregson whilst investigating the Red-Headed League.
Which brings us to the crucial issue of the victim's time of death. The defense yesterday proposed the suggestion that the victim may have been killed 1 day earlier. This was based largely on the discovery that the victim's pocket watch had not been wound.
The prosecution has something to report on that subject, my lord.
Really? Go ahead, Prosecutor Asogi.
I met once again with the coroner yesterday to discuss the issue. She confirmed that the defense's suggestion could not be ruled out. It's entirely possible that Inspector Gregson was killed on 31st of October, the day before his body was discovered. I have an updated autopsy report that includes the amended details.
But the official opinion of the investigation team was made clear yesterday, that the time of death was 5 p.m. on 1st November.
There are indications of an attempt to disguise the real time of death, however. It seems that the natural decaying process of the victim's body may have been slowed by keeping it chilled.
That's out of the question. There are no refrigeration devices in that part of London large enough to accommodate a human corpse.
My lord, this is more than just conjecture. There's evidence to support the idea. We must investigate it thoroughly.
Very well. The court will accept the new report as evidence. However, if this updated report is deemed to be accurate, it would give renewed significance to the movements of the victim on the day before the Fresno Street incident.
It would, yes. Especially since on that day, Inspector Gregson was using Mr. Vigil to cover up his real movements. It's conceivable that he was killed in the course of his secret activities.
Do I sense that the prosecution has some information regarding those activities?
Scotland Yard put an enormous effort into investigating the precise matter yesterday. Oh.
I think we should begin by presenting the results of that investigation work. So the prosecution calls its first witness now!
What? Oh, well, I guess that actually makes a lot of sense. State your name and occupation for the court.
Inspector Gina Lestrade reporting. Reaper sensitive of Scotland Yard.
Sentive. Not sensitive. Sentive. Oops. A self-conferred rank, but never mind.
Gina? Again? What's your problem, Odo? What's with that Gina again look, eh?
Ah! She read my mind.
The boss meant the world to me. He done more for me than anyone else ever did.
Oh, Inspector Gregson, you mean?
He got me out the slums of the East End and took me under his wing. Taught me that life can have a purpose. So that's why I'm the best person to be standing here speaking for him. Oh, Gina. Right. All out of the goodness of Gregson's heart. Not all that he had his arm twisted by Mr. Sholmes, no. What's relevant to these proceedings is that the outcome of Scotland Yard's investigations yesterday has revealed that the victim was carrying out some assignments the police knew nothing about. Very troubling. That face. Lord Strongheart knew. Oh. So, Inspector Lestrade, let's hear exactly what it says in that report. Coming right up, sir. Alright, here we go. First one of the day. The victim's movements. All yard detectives are supposed to follow orders and investigate what they're told. But a little search of the boss's office turned up a notebook that had a load of secret meetings in it. According to that, the boss was looking into some smuggled good dealings that day. It looks like it was a big job and all, but the coppers weren't onto it yet. What matters most is there's witnesses what saw the Reaper at the place too. There's witnesses and we're not bringing them in? Smuggled goods? I don't know, do I? I'm just telling you what was written in the book. Tabasco, tea, spices, medicines. Goods of all sorts flow into London by illegal channels from across the globe. It's well known that they're disposed of at regular black markets that take place in the capital. But the police are rarely able to locate them in time. So Inspector Gregson was investigating one of those black markets?
It's been suggested that high-ranking government officials may be involved in black market activity. No doubt Gregson was trying to avoid details of his investigations being leaked to the involved parties. That would explain why he was operating on his own authority without the Yard's knowledge.
And do we know where the dealings were taking place this time?
In a particular room of a certain exclusive London gentleman's club, and on the day in question, the accused is known to have been there. That's the conclusion of Scotland Yard's investigation into the matter.
It can't be! We haven't heard anything about any of this.
Members of the club have testified to it. There's no question. The accused, Barrick Van Zykes, was present. And that would be very significant testimony then.
Oh my, but Lord Van Zykes has made no mention of this at all.
In short, Lord Van Zykes had an ample opportunity to murder the victim.
Good lord.
Very well then. Counsel for the defense, begin your cross-examination.
Okay. Alright, that's... Alright, here we go. All yards supposed to follow orders and investigate what they're told. See, the thing is, I'm not really... I think we just press these.
Hold it!
So, you follow orders, do you, Gina? Nah, not me. I'm above all that, see? Oh. The boss always had special orders for me. Grab us some fish and chips, or go and give Toby his grub. That kind of thing. So, errands more than orders, then.
This detective is still an apprentice, after all.
Yeah, well, this apprentice ain't want to sit around and wait to be told what to do, even by the boss. That's why I've been doing me own investigations into what happened. Didn't find much at first. But a little search of the boss's office turned up a notebook and...
Hold it!
Can we get that notebook? So you went through through Inspector Gregson's things? Yup, as part of the independent Lestrade investigation. I'm sure your superiors would be delighted that you're taking the initiative. So I snuck into his office when no one else was about. Because if anyone at the yard had seen me going in there, they'd have turfed me straight onto the street. This is sounding less and less like an investigation and more like something else. The prosecution understands that it was this very detective who's discovered the notebook. You got that right. Nothing gets past Inspector Lestrade and a trusty assistant, Chief Inspector Toby. We found it in one of his desk drawers that had a false bottom. That's impressive. So when I went to hide myself, there's no one where no one could find me, so I could have a butcher's out what was written in it. Because if anyone at the yard had found me out, they'd have turfed me straight onto the street. I've given it in now though, haven't I? Or ain't I? Whatever. And if it weren't for me, it would never have been found. Silver lining. According to that, the boss was looking into smuggled good dealings that day. Hold it! Do you have any idea where those dealings were taking place? Yep. It was all there in the boss's notes. Let's see if I can remember. As I already said, the illegal dealings were due to take place at a gentleman's club. Yes, I remember. But I was hoping to find out the name of the club.
That won't be necessary.
What? It's conceivable that the club might be used again by the smugglers in future. Therefore, the prosecution has been asked not to reveal the name in these proceedings. I don't know what all the fuss is about. It's right here. All I gotta do is read it out. And I could too. I've got this reading game buttoned up now. Can I show you what I can do? Go on. What's the harm? The judge hasn't signaled his objection yet. Could try to find out. What should I do? Insist. That's information, bitch. This is a closed court. The proceedings are confidential. Therefore, there shouldn't be any possibility of the information being leaked.
As I explained, there is some possibility of politicians being involved in this affair. The prosecution is rightfully exercising caution, I imagine.
No, my lord. The prosecution has no objection. Cosmo? There's no question that Inspector Gregson was looking into these black market dealings. However, it's not yet established that he was on that particular trail on the day in question. If the defense requires to know the name's club, the prosecution has no intention of being obstructive. Right then, I get to show off my reading skills. Apparently, the smuggled goods deal was going to happen at a gentleman's called the Gross. Hold it! The Gross? What sort of club is that? I ain't got the foggiest. Clubs ain't exactly my thing, but I am kind of curious.
They're not places where a foreign student like you would be readily admitted.
Have you looked in the mirror recently? I tell you what. Me and Chief Inspector Toby could go in undercover. Could you, though? I could pick out a few good marks and see what else I could find out while I was in there. I really don't think you should go picking out anything. Anyway, that's where these black market dealings were going to take place, is it? Yeah, it's gotta be. That's what the lower-ranking detectives of the yard reckon. Says the even lower-ranking detective. Looks like it was a big job and all, but the coppers weren't in on it. Is there anywhere? Oh, I bet now I can... Professor Mikitoba has wonderful handwriting, doesn't he? This dark-suited young man is not in the least bit untrustworthy. Is it just me, or does that make me sound extremely untrustworthy? Do we should at least call you a nice young man? Wait, I'm really not sure that would help. Wait, I already investigated that before, didn't I? Whatever, okay, it's relevant. Sorry, I thought it was because of the revelation we just had. Dismissal note. Okay, that doesn't matter. Oh, we can't investigate that. I want to see if there's anything related to... I'll see if there's anything related to the gross, as it's called. Back when I make toast sandwich. Hello, welcome back. Just... Did I not already investigate this? See that? Oh, because it's a new chapter, that's why. You'd think it would, whatever. Something stuck inside there. It looks like a fragment of metal of some sort, but it's wedged so tightly I can't remove it. I already read all this. I don't know why it doesn't act like I have. Whatever. Okay. Gross. Alright, I guess we'll just keep pressing. Looks like it was a big job and all, but the coppers weren't in on it yet. Or onto it yet, rather. So, how had Inspector Gregson come to find out about it in that case? That's the question, ain't it? But I'm just an apprentice, so... And why didn't he inform Scotland Yard of his findings? Yeah, that's what I was asking myself, because, you know, I'm just an apprentice. When it suits you, yes. Anyway, the point is, something went off at the club, no question. You can't say that for certain, though, surely? What matters most is there's witnesses what saw the Reaper at the place, too.
Hold it!
Lord Van Zykes was at the club. He was. Detectives who visited the club yesterday to make inquiries have confirmed it. Several members report having seen the accused being admitted to the room in question as a guest. Looks like there's no disputing that he was there then. Well, we know that Lord Van Zykes was investigating Inspector Gregson, don't we? Perhaps he'd already discovered the Inspector's secret notebook, which led him to the club, you mean? Maybe. Presumably then there was also eyewitnesses who can testify that Gregson was there? Oh. None have been identified at this time, no. So the all-important victim wasn't seen at the mysterious club. Oi! Why aren't you asking Inspector Lestrade here, eh? Because we already did. So that's all I've got to work with. Gina's not holding back with that ice-cold stare of hers, is she? I really don't know what to make of all this. Lord Van Zykes told us he was investigating Inspector Gregson. He never once mentioned that he met the inspector the day before the incident. Don't think Lord Van Zykes could have been lying to us, do you? It's not the only way to explain this. Oh! If everything Lord Van Zykes has told us is true, then there must be a mistake in this testimony somewhere. You mean there are details we've yet to uncover? Exactly. A clue, perhaps, that even Gina hasn't noticed. That's what we should be looking for here. Okay, well, it's definitely here. Something about the gross. Tobias Gregson, passport number, blah, blah, blah. This is to be to France. Maybe if I open it up. Well, I suppose we should do with this inspection. Or, well, no, this is just gonna do the same. Yeah, this is irrelevant. Fuck. Here, I'm gonna save real quick. Gentlemen's Club. called the gross. This is just about the red-headed leaf. There's nothing about the gross here. And then there's just a photo of Vigil. This has nothing to do with the gross. This has nothing to do with the gross, because this is a dismissal notice from 10 years ago. Red hairpiece belonged to Inspector Gregson. Police figurine. Model of a British policeman found at the scene of the crime of first degree, giving a twist key. Right. That's not relevant. I think a lot of this is no longer relevant. Don't think this is relevant. Don't think this is relevant. Is there anything here? No, nothing about this indicates the gross. Notice board? Is there anything? Well, these are all about... No, that's irrelevant, I guess. I suppose that's relevant. Okay. Spectre's identification commemorative. This feels like the closest, right?
Objection.
My lord, as the counsel for the defense, I must object to that last statement.
And as the judge, I must deny your objection. There's no contradiction here.
Oh.
No contradiction other than the fact that a Far Eastern lawyer is practicing in a British courtroom.
Jesus. Put there by a not so far away Lord Chief Justice, if you remember. I mean, this has to be the place where, like, I present. The gross. I never even read this part. What the fuck? Vital evidence recovered from the victim's stomach during autopsy. Credit to Inspector Gregson for petitioning so doggedly for the autopsy report. No internal trauma noted anywhere in the body. Okay, I don't know how any of this could help anything. Do we know where the scene of the crime was? Death, stab, blah, 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 blah. That's Scarlet Ink. It's irrelevant. That's 10 years ago. It means nothing. I don't know. Smuggled goods deal happened at a gentleman's club called The Gross. This has nothing to do with this. Gregson's trunk. I already tried this. There's a bloodstain here. Okay. Don't know what the passport would have to do with a club. Apparently smuggled goods. Matters is there's witness what saw the Reapers or the Reaper at the place too. Did she say what time it? No, fucking wrong button. Hold on, I pressed the wrong button. So no one said that they found Gregson there. The answer is very plainly in the court record, but it's not quite a contradiction. Okay. I'd appreciate, and like, I know you know mean, or what the fuck? I know you mean no harm, but also I'd appreciate it if, you didn't give me hints like that. I want to be able to, like, figure it out on my own, you know? So I appreciate it, but also, no, you're good. You're totally fine. I know you meant nothing by it. I just want to, you know, clarify that I want to be able to figure this out kind of on my own here. Let's have a look inside. Is there anything in here
that like indicates fucking anything. I will take what you said into account. I will do that because fucking I got no idea. It's not exactly a contradiction. Apparently, smoke a goods deal was gonna happen. Maybe this?
Objection.
No. The witness's last statement exhibit. Okay, I'm gonna go back. Hold on. We're gonna go back to the save I had. Okay, let me. Very plainly in the court record, but not exactly a contradiction. An advertisement from the newspaper that's entitled to the Red-Headed League. It seems somewhat suspicious in nature. That feels completely irrelevant. Photographic print received from Mrs. Vigil in order to aid with locating her missing husband. He appears to have no particularly distinctive facial features. Oh, I love that they tell you that from the start. Letter of introduction. That has nothing to do with fucking anything. Dismissal note? Would this mention anything to do with a fucking gentleman's club? Yeah, there's nothing here, so that's irrelevant. Flame presumably it belonged to Inspector Gregson. Apparently, smuggled goods deal was gonna happen at the Gross and the Red Hairpiece. That don't feel connected. This was irrelevant. I remember that much. Okay. Model of a. This has nothing to do with it. Oh, never mind. I was sort of wrong as things stand there. But oh, okay. Murder weapon was found is. Best. Is it this? I don't know what this. I don't think this has anything. Right? A freestanding notice board completely covered in notes and articles relating to the victims of the Reaper. There is a bloody handprint on the backside. I don't think any of... Fuck it.
Objection.
Nah, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Part of me wants to cheat slightly and just let story mode tell me where I have to do something. Maybe... No. This is already on... sorry. The Gross. Notebook. A lot of secret meetings in it. Oh, wait!
Objection.
Never mind. I thought it was going to be like... So my logic there was... Actually, I'll just let it go. But my logic there was a bunch of secret meetings and the notice board... before you resort to story mode. Nah. I want to figure it out on my own. I appreciate it, but I don't want to have, like, hints from viewers. Witness's last statement exhibits a fundamental inconsistency, blah, blah, blah.
Not only that, not one that any British court would recognize, counsel.
What?
Remember, this is a closed court. Whatever fate befalls you in here, no one outside will ever know.
You threatening to kill me? Should I be wondering if I'll make it out of this courtroom alive? Kinda fucked up the delivery, it's fine. It's a little search, the bosses. All our detectives supposed to follow orders and investigate what they're told. Little search of the boss's office, turned up a notebook that... Okay, apparently smoke... It has to be this, right? I just want to see if that's the right... Okay, this is the right place to present. Did I just present the Lucky Charm now and just be like, fuck, damn, I'm needing this early? The Gross.
I'm not gonna need this. This is irrelevant. Possession, it was issued for travel to France the day before his body was discovered. Wait. On the day before his body was discovered, this happened. He would have missed his flight.
Objection.
Never mind, fuck me! That last statement seemed a little questionable to me. What do you think, my lord?
I see no inconsistency there, do you? You could span the Straits of Dover with those wide eyes, Counsel, and be gone from this island forever, I hope.
Do you want me to fill the English Channel with tears? Fuck me. Alright, let me reset, or not reset, but just like... Apparently a smuggled goods deal was gonna happen at a gentleman's club called The Gross. Fuck it, my only thought is that people never saw him because he was wearing the red hairpiece.
Objection.
See, that makes... Wait, let me see. Okay, I might be on the right track. Just let me see if it's on the other thing. You know what I mean? Like on the one where they're talking about Van Zykes.
Objection.
Nope, never mind. I'm just completely in the wrong direction there. Wait, I'm an idiot. I'm so stupid. They literally told me which one I have to investigate on, and my dumbass was like, but what if it's this one? God. Maybe we're gonna say, what's his name was there instead? Daily Vigil? What you were saying?
Objection.
Okay, alright, let me fucking think this out. There was a smuggled goods deal that was gonna happen at a place called The Gross. This is like, no way that's what I need, right? Clint's autopsy report. That's irrelevant. That's 10 years ago. This was 2 days ago or some shit. Passport, which I've already tried, didn't work. Gregson's trunk, which I already tried, it didn't work. That's 10 years ago. Doesn't matter. Don't know why this would be relevant, but now I... Nope. Okay. No idea. Already tried that, didn't work. Already tried that, didn't work. The Gross. Time of death indeterminate. Evidence suggests measures may have been taken as victim was shot in the chest. Caliber of gun used matches the standard issue firearms by the judiciary. That proves nothing. That helps nothing. Fuck it.
Objection.
Yep, that's... I knew it, but I'm so lost. Okay. Revolver. Not gonna do anything. That has nothing to do with the Gross, right? That has nothing to do with the Gross. Also nothing to do with the Gross. Tried that, didn't work. Nothing to do with the Gross. Tried that, didn't work. Fucking irrelevant. I don't think this is relevant, really. Gregson's pocket watch. I tried that and it didn't work. Tried that, it didn't work. Don't get where that would be relative or relevant. That's 10 years ago. Fuck it, I'm gonna try the charm, see if I just need it right away.
Objection.
Alright. Well, at least I know Renosuke isn't a total coward and immediately going with the I need help button. Unlike me, I'm so lost. Tell me...
Objection.
What? Wait, what the fuck does that have to do with anything? Noted the undercover kid was ran in the back of the ticket to pass the steamship. Oh, it looks like this is some sort of steamship ticket. The SS God damn it. Okay. Okay, alright, okay. Alright, we get it. Fin's dumb. We understand. Well, I thought I already examined it, and I remembered this being entirely useless, but also... I'll give you a ticket Alright, we get it. Finn's dumb. I've read about these clubs that exist here in Britain. As I understand it, they're places where well-to-do gentlemen socialize with friends and colleagues. Don't imagine for a second that a foreign student like you would be admitted. Seriously, is your mirror cracked or something? Do we know for sure that the contraband dealings were definitely happening at a club called The Gross? The police are currently looking for evidence, but haven't found anything definitive yet. And I'm sorry to say, they probably won't. What do you mean by that? I mean that the place Inspector Gregson was secretly going to visit on the 31st of October may not have been a gentleman's club at all.
Showing a very irreverent attitude towards our country's police force there, Counsel. If it wasn't a gentleman's club, then what was it?
A steamship. You think it's a ship? I have evidence to prove it. Here!
Let me see that. This dark-suited young man is not the least bit untrustworthy.
The other side, my lord.
Be more specific next time. This would appear to be a ticket for passage upon a steamship, yes? The SS Gross.
There it is.
Objection.
Objection! So there's a steamship named the Gross that happens to share a name with the club.
But I'm afraid to say,
There's a flaw in your logic there. How? Look at the ticket. Notice the date of arrival in port.
the ship arrived at the port of Dover on 1st November.
The day on which the sound like a gunshot was heard on Fresno Street. In other words, on the day in question here, 31st October, when the victim was on his clandestine mission, the ship hadn't yet docked on British shores.
That would certainly make an undercover investigation somewhat challenging.
The bitch. The fact that the steamship hadn't yet reached Britain substantiates the defense's assertion that the victim was investigating the excess gross on the day in question. Then show your evidence for that assertion. Very well.
What?
God, that sound is so powerful.
In that case, counsel for the defense, present your evidence to the court now. Evidence that substantiates your claim that the victim was investigating the SS Gross.
This, right?
Yeah.
Take that!
What's this? A passport for travel issued to the victim. Dated 31st October. What are you suggesting?
I'm suggesting that just one day before the inspector's body was discovered, there's a distinct possibility he wasn't even in the country. Ugh. Fucking eat shit. Sorry, I need water.
Order! Order! This document is for passage to France. It does appear to have been officially authorized.
The day before the SS Gross arrived at Dover, it docked on the northern coast of France for a night. According to my father, who was on board at the port of Dunkirk.
Dunkirk, France. What could possibly have taken the victim there?
I'm impressed, Ryunosuke Naruhodo. I certainly didn't expect you to get your hands on that passport. What? You mean you knew about this? Why are you lying? I always thought Dunkirk was in Scotland. I think there is a Dunkirk, Scotland, too. Could be wrong about that. The prosecution strategy for this trial has been laid down by the Crown Prosecution Office. On the day before the incident, the victim was investigating contraband dealings at a London club. That's the outcome of Scotland Yard's investigation and the line the prosecution has been asked to follow. But personally, I don't agree. I think the prosecutor's office is trying to hide something. What? And now that you've expertly disproven their assertion, I intend to reveal what I believe that something to be.
What are you playing at, Prosecutor Rasogi?
A courtroom is a forum for the truth, my lord. Which is why it's my duty to present all the facts without exception.
Let me guess. This was your intention from the outset, wasn't it?
The reason Inspector Gregson secretly made his way to the steamship docked in France on the day in question was to carry out a mission for the Reaper! The Reaper? Yeah, it makes sense. Kind of. It's in the area.
Order! Order! What on earth are you saying, counsel?
The prosecution made an assertion in court yesterday. Inspector Gregson was investigating the identity of the Reaper. When he discovered the location of the man's secret hideout, he was killed. As I'm sure everyone can imagine, by the Reaper's hand! But in reality, the truth is the opposite of that. What? Inspector Gregson wasn't investigating the Reaper at all. He was, in fact, acting for the Reaper! So, you're saying the mission he was undertaking was, obviously, an assassination. Beric Van Zykes never carried out any of the actual killings. Whenever the Reaper's victims lost their lives, he always had a cast iron alibi. Which tells us that he must have had an accomplice.
And you claim that was Inspector Gregson.
Hold it! What the hell do you think you're saying, eh? My boss would never have done nothing like that!
And yet, when you consider all the facts, it all makes perfect sense.
No, it can't be! We also arrived at the same conclusion, didn't we? That Inspector Gregson was that Inspector Gregson was operating as the Reaper?
Even so,
There's no way that the person giving him his orders was Lord Van Zykes. No, the true Reaper is somebody else.
Beric Van Zykes is not the Reaper.
A predictable response for someone who's advocating for the man.
I don't know why I went so deep there, sorry. Kinda went off voice for a second. And even if it's true that Gregson was operating as an agent of the Reaper,
The suggestion that he went aboard the SS Gross on an assassination mission doesn't follow at all.
Oh? Do you have some solid reason for doubting the assertion? You have some solid reason for doubting the assertion, do you, Counsel?
Absolutely. It's very simple. On the day in question, nobody was killed aboard that steamship. I don't know why I turned that into a laugh, but Professor Mikitoba and Judge Jigoku were on that very ship. If someone had been assassinated, I'm certain we would have heard about it. What's so funny? You're right, of course. No suspicious deaths were reported on board that ship. But I think perhaps you've missed the point. That's precisely why Inspector Gregson himself lost his life. What? Gregson did board the SS Gross that night with the intention of dispatching his wait, what did that say? His mark, sorry. But his mission ended in failure. Failure? Seems that the defense hasn't yet grasped a very important detail here. What are you talking about? What detail? Inspector Gina Lestrade. What? The victim's notebook that you read an excerpt from earlier. It doesn't contain details of secret investigations at all. It describes 10 years of assassination plots to be carried out by the Reaper of the Bailey. You're lying! Even if all them... Even if all them bludgers what got taken out at it coming, the boss want the Reaper. Poor Gina. There's no question that Tobias Gregson was heavily involved in the Reaper's activities. You may just be an apprentice, but if you spent any time at Scotland Yard, you must have heard rumors. I ain't heard nothing, and I don't believe a word of it. Then testify again, as a representative of Scotland Yard. Consider it your chance to defend your boss. I don't...
I concur. The witness will give a new formal testimony. Miss Lestrade, you will tell the court everything you know about Inspector Gregson's secret notebook.
I'm guessing Kazuma's gonna do another objection, like his own present thing. The Reaper's notebook. Yeah, this notebook does have a load of stuff what the Reaper got up to these past 10 years. Names of victims, dates and places and stuff. And the last entry in there was 31st October. It said gross for the place on the date and then the name of the mark. There was a note about him being a criminal what got away from the Reaper in court 10 years ago or something. Be honest, the boss didn't do none of it. He was just investigating the Reaper, that's all. Poor Gina.
Keep personal opinion out of your testimony, witness. We require only established fact here.
This must be so hard for her. You can't deny it now, surely, Ryunosuke Naruhodo. What can't I deny? The notebook contained the name of the final mark and the location where the assassination would take place. The information that the victim could only have known if he was working with the Reaper. Ugh.
So, who was to be this final mark?
Go ahead, Inspector Lestrade. Read the name for the court. The name that's written alongside the entry that mentions the gross on 31st October. Eh? Oh, how do you read it this then? Reading's still not her strong suit. That ain't the problem, alright, Odo? It's a funny name. It ain't English. It's hard to read. So it's someone from overseas? Let me have a bash at it. Seishiro, is it? Oh, Jigoku? Yeah, Seishiro. Jigoku, maybe? What? It can't be. Seishiro Jigoku? But that's... Judge Jigoku! Yeah.
Seishiro Jigoku. Certainly not an English name, you're right.
Objection! But that can't be right. I know Judge Jigoku. I saw him the day before yesterday here in London. I know for a fact that that man hasn't been assassinated.
As I said, the Reaper failed.
Oh. Gregson missed his chance to kill his mark and return to British shores. But the Reaper wouldn't tolerate the mistake, so he killed the inspector personally. The Reaper, of course, being the accused, Beric Van Zykes.
It's an undeniably logical argument.
Kazuma, you planned for the trial to go this way all along, didn't you?
Hold it! Oh, shit.
Oh, he's got his wine on the... Oh my god.
Pray, forgive the discourtesy of filling my hollowed chalice whilst I stand accused of murder.
That was the most badass shit he's done this entire fucking game.
Lord Van Zykes!
The accused has no right to speak uninvited in court. You will return to the dock.
I say nothing of whether or not I'm the Reaper. That's the task of this court to decide. But there is one thing I can say unequivocally. That girl is no detective.
Eh? What? No, that's right, I ain't. I'm an inspector.
Repeating rumors heard around the yard. Reading entries from a notebook of unconfirmed origin. That's not testimony. It's practically a script. No doubt the rest of this trial will go exactly as you've clearly planned. Your hatred of me is understandable. In your mind, I'm sure I'm the Reaper, who sent your father to the gallows all those years ago. But you're in danger of becoming far more sinister, Reaper. Let me do that. But you're in danger of becoming a far more sinister Reaper yourself. By attempting to have me condemned with this feeble excuse for testimony.
What did you say?
Mr. Naruhodo, this is our chance. My lord, the defense requests that the defendant be allowed to speak. He may be privy to important information relating to the testimony just given by the witness.
Very well. I'll make an exception and grant the request. The defendant may remain in the witness stand for the cross-examination.
Then allow me to toast to the court's impartiality.
Don't raise your glass in my direction, sir. Counsel for the Counsel for the defense, begin the cross-examination immediately. He's undying that universe of Jesus.
I don't even know where that applies, I'll be honest. Just the fact that he... Oh, wait, I get what you mean. Okay, never mind. At once, my lord. Also, again, Briz, you might just want to tone it down a little bit just because Twitch TOS with the adult jokes, we'll put it. The Reaper's Notebook. Yeah, the notebook does have a load of stuff. Okay, so I think what we just gotta do is just press until Van Zykes is like, oh, hold on.
Hold it!
In other words, it shows that Gregson was basically acting as the Reaper. Not you and all. That ain't the only explanation, is it? He could have been investigating the Reaper in secret. A notebook said what he found out.
If I may. When originally people began referring to me as the Reaper, I didn't object. I believed the power to intimidate London's criminal class into compliance with the law to be beneficial.
But you carried out your own investigations into the true identity of the Reaper, didn't you?
Yes, and those investigations proved conclusively that Gregson was one arm of the Reaper.
One arm? What are you on about?
The Reaper's victims were all extremely shrewd criminals at the top of their game. Forgot to put on the voice at the beginning of that. There's simply no way one person could have taken them on alone. The Reaper is an organization. With you at its head? I had spies at the yard keeping me abreast of Gregson's movements, letting me know when he was elsewhere. So I'd been able to check the most recent entry in his book. I knew the location.
You knew it said gross.
Believing it to be a reference to the Gentleman's Club, I went there on the day in question to investigate, alone. And that's why no one saw Gregson but people saw Van Zykes. Because Van Zykes went to the club, and Gregson went on the boat. Interesting.
Ah, so that explains why several members of the club claim to have seen you there.
But of course, the inspector was not there. Because at the time, he was making his way to the steamship docked on the northern coast of France. As shown by the passport found in the victim's metal trunk. Very well then. Back to your testimony about the contents of this notebook.
Who told you about the metal trunk, Mr. Asogi? Because the metal trunk never brought up. That actually never got brought up.
Fine.
Is something wrong, Mr. Naruhodo? You seemed a little shocked by something a moment ago.
Oh, no, it's all right. I'm overthinking this, aren't I? No, you're not. Names of victims, dates, and places and stuff. The last entry there was the 31st October. Names of victims, dates, places, and stuff? What in particular?
Well, beside the victims' names, this other name kept cropping up.
What other name was that?
It's the one I told you yesterday. The same name written over and over again.
You mean Asashin?
Yeah, that's the one. She's a friend of yours or something, isn't she?
Were you even listening yesterday? Asashin. The assassin. The assassin.
What? Like, a killer, you mean?
Gregson was the tactician, the one who came up with the plan of attack. He investigated the marks thoroughly, finding out when he would be vulnerable and who to use to get at them.
But the person actually executing his plans was someone else, you're saying? If that's true, then the Reaper does indeed start to sound like an organized group of vigilantes.
Then perhaps what it said on the passport document, permission for the applicant and one additional person to travel, could that additional person have been
clearly the assassin who was meant to take Seishiro Jigoku's life?
Really? Gina, can you confirm that? Against the final entry listed Gross and Seishiro Jigoku. What name was written? Oh, well, that's the only entry that didn't have a name next to it, as it happens. What? It just had a question mark or something there, I think.
In other words, Gregson himself didn't know the identity of the assassin in that case.
But Gregson was the one making the plans, was he not?
Oh, how infuriating!
A nameless assassin. Maybe he didn't... well, I guess... Never mind. It's a gross to the place of day, the name of mark.
And you're saying that the mark listed was Seishiro Jigoku? That's what it said! Funny name if you ask me. And I thought your name was odd.
So pleased to have lost my crown there. Mr. Jigoku is the presiding judge of Japan's Supreme Court of Judiciary.
I remember the man. He came to our country as a visiting student 16 years ago.
Studying international law and diplomacy under your tutelage, Lord Strongheart.
That bearded young fellow was a very able man, I must say.
So Lord Strongheart was Jigoku's mentor.
If I'm not mistaken, he returned to Japan 10 years ago now.
10 years ago, after that fateful case.
Precisely. In the aftermath of the professor case, his repatriation was organized immediately. It's a mystery why such a man would be listed in the inspector's notebook.
I didn't think it was possible, but the mood in here has got even worse now. Maybe I'll just keep talking.
That's so relatable, though.
There was a note about him being criminal, what got away from the Reaper in court 10 years ago or something.
Hold it!
What do you mean a criminal? Judge Jigoku is no criminal. Well, don't ask me. I don't know nothing about... It just clicked. It just clicked. Big ass case.
I think Gregson's in here. That's... Oh no. Jigoku. Okay, here's my read. My read right now is the reason it's a question mark is because whoever for some reason Gregson wasn't aware of who the killer was after, I assume, finding out that Asashin, Josiel Brett, was murdered. So he went in, and I assume that the actual assassin was Jigoku. And Jigoku put... What's his name? Put Gregson's body in here. And then left him in that room however many years ago. Or years ago? What am I saying? However many, like, days ago. That's what feels likely here. Is that... Because it's not this case. Oh, it is. That is the case, isn't it? No, that one has a handle on the side. But he does have blood. That's why I'm like... I don't know. We'll figure it out, I suppose.
Well, don't ask me. I don't know nothing about it. Oh, do you remember what Father told us? That Judge Jigoku did once appear in court here in Britain. It was related to the professor case, I'm sure.
Yeah, of course. You're right. Seishiro was trying to mitigate Genshin's guilt, so he took to the stand to testify, but he got a little carried away and, actually managed to break the witness stand. He also said some contemptuous words about the British Empire, for which he was charged. Also, I have to handle a thing. I just got a text and it's going to be a quick second thing. I'm very sorry. Just give me 1 second. Alright, sorry about that. Like I said earlier, it's been a busy day. Let's bring this up. Okay, alright. Did I skip a thing? No, yeah. It was a pitiful situation, yes. I'd forgotten all about it. But I prosecuted that trial too, as it happens.
You did? We were told this.
I forgot to meet that time. It was considered to be an adjunct to the professor's proceedings, you see. Oh, we weren't told that. Sorry, I was wrong. But he was acquitted after being told to make reparation for the damage caused to the stand. And there you have it. Have what? Surely the accused hasn't forgotten his own rule. That there's no saving anyone who faces the Reaper in court. Guilty or innocent alike.
What? No! Are you suggesting that the reason Judge Jigoku was targeted for assassination?
The man was sent back to Japan immediately after that trial. The Reaper had no time to do his work. But then, 10 years later, the mark returns to Britain once more. Perhaps now you start to see just how vindictive the Reaper is.
Come on, that's absurd! To take someone's life for that?
Isn't the whole premise of the Reaper absurd, killing those who have been found innocent? Clearly, the rules by which the man operates are beyond a sane person's comprehension.
But... Objection! Right, I've had enough of this!
Gina?
All this nonsense about the boss plan to kill people. It's cobblers.
I said clobbers.
Come on, Odo.
Yes? What?
Why ain't you saying nothing? Why ain't you yelling out objection or something? What? You've got to find a flaw. You do, usually. Someone's lying here, no question. You gotta work out who it is. Please. For the boss.
Damn.
That outburst was an insult to the court and to your own testimony. I might have known that a common pickpocket from the back slums couldn't make a detective. When this trial is over, you will forfeit your warrant card, Miss Lestrade. Is that clear?
I've had it with the lot of you. It's lies every bleeding place you look in the world, isn't it? Well, I've had enough.
Gina. So have I. After that little speech of Gina's, I've made up my mind.
To do what, Mr. Naruhodo?
There was one point in this cross-examination when something was said that just didn't sit right with me. One statement that seemed odd.
Oh, do you mean...
I'm not going to let Gina's plea for help fall on deaf ears. So I assume now I have to go back.
Come on, Odo, help! You gotta find a new flaw somewhere.
Do I have to go back here?
Hold it!
I assume I have to go back here. Hold on. The moment I see Cosmo, I'm gonna start reading shit again. Okay. With you at its head. And then silence. I had spies of the yard keep me abreast of Gregson's movements, letting me know when he was elsewhere. So I've been able to check most recent entry in his book. I knew the location. You knew it said gross. Believing it to reference the Gentleman's Club, I went to there on the day questioned alone. So that explains why everyone knew you were there, but not Gregson. But of course, the inspector was not there. Because at the time, he was making his way to steamship docked on the north, as shown by the passport, via the mail trunk.
Oh, can I not?
Oh. Then I guess I pressed the... Oh, really? Oh. I guess then I just go to, like, when she's crying. right here.
Hold it!
And I press that, right? I want to thank you, Gina. You helped me find my resolve.
Eh?
What do you mean? Amongst everything we've heard during this cross-examination, there's one thing that defies explanation. One inconsistency.
What? An inconsistency.
Really, Odo?
I don't quite know what it means yet, but... Yes, there's an inconsistency in something that was said by...
Take
Kazuma.
that!
By you, Kazuma Asogi.
Me? Is this some attempt at filibustering, Counsel? Prosecutor Asogi has given no testimony.
What are you suggesting I said that was inconsistent? You let something slip that you shouldn't have. When I present the relevant piece of evidence, I imagine you'll realize what you've done.
Very well then, Counsel. Go ahead. What evidence reveals this alleged inconsistency in something Prosecutor Asogi has said?
Where is the metal suitcase? There it is.
Take that!
This is a trunk that belonged to Inspector Gregson.
A metal construction, is it? Certainly very heavy. What's this? A blood stain? And a relatively fresh one, too.
What? You mean that ain't grease from all the boss's fish and chips?
Fresh blood on the inspector's trunk. That suggests that the victim was traveling with that luggage when he was killed.
That can't be. There was no mention of any truck in Scotland Yard's report.
Well, yes, there's a reason for that. Immediately after the inspector's body was discovered, one of the street peddlers made off with the trunk, hoping to sell it. But I found him, with me nose for trouble. Which means that nobody should have known anything about the trunk. Unless, of course, we're talking about somebody who was present when the victim was killed. Oh, we're straight up saying Kazuma was there. And yet, during the cross-examination for the witness just now, you said this, Kazuma. Because at the time he was making his way to the steamship docked on the northern coast of France, as shown by the passport found in the victim's metal trunk. So the question is, how did you know about the inspector's trunk? We know the man went on a trip to France. Where else would he have put his passport? But you knew it was a metal trunk. Answer me honestly, Kazuma. On 31st October, where exactly were you? At the port of Dunkirk, on board the SS Gross. Is that the answer you're looking for, Ryunosuke? Kazuma! What did you... I hadn't considered the possibility before, but if Kazuma was there on the ship, then it can only have been for one purpose.
Oh no, Mr. Naruhodo. Surely you don't think...
Come on, Ryunosuke, you know the rules. The only thing that really talks in the courtroom is hard evidence. Everything is evidence in a court of law. As I understand it, Inspector Gregson always took that case with him when he traveled. So as it stands, you've proved nothing. Kazuma, are you challenging me to prove it beyond all reasonable doubt? That you were there that day, in the same place as the inspector? He was there, with Gregson. There's a clue that you've overlooked. A secret that trunk can tell us. I can't be sure at this point. I need to verify it. But I have a nasty feeling that I'm gonna be right.
The accusation being made is deeply disturbing. but nevertheless, we must test it. The defense will identify for the court where in the trunk this alleged cloak is to be found. Where is the evidence that ties Prosecutor Asogi to Inspector Gregson? That can be a part of your mask, right?
Got it!
How? Have we ever said got it up until that point?
This is your proof? What do you say to that, Prosecutor?
That's not it.
Personally, I think trying the defense counsel to the inspector's trunk and tossing it to the sea would be more helpful.
What?
At least that way, London's courtrooms will be safe from his destructive accusations.
I believe that was a rather long-winded way of telling you that you're wrong, Mr. Naruhodo.
Very well. Then let us see if you sink or swim under the weight of this penalty, counsel.
Yeah! Mr. Naruhodo, you can't allow yourself to be drowned at sea yet! I was hoping to never let that happen, funnily enough.
Such a real statement. Defense will identify...
Okay, wait, now I'm lost, and I'm gonna save before I fuck up again, because now I'm at 3 strikes, and I can't go back until, or I can't go back to 5 until the next 2 be continued.
Defense will identify to the court where in the trunk...
Wait, I'm in the trunk. Am I allowed to open it? Let's have a look inside. Is there something inside that connects them? Well, there's only 3 options at that point. The blood, then? The options are blood... Wait, what if I do it now?
Got it!
Oh, I had to open the case. That's so dumb. There's a small piece of metal lodged in the wall of the trunk in here. Like the tip of a blade. A blade? Oh. Of either Karuma or his, rapier. Oh, shit. Kazuma. Slung around your waist as ever today is the esteemed blade Karuma.
Of course it is.
Won't you draw it here in this courtroom for all to see? Exercise caution, my learned friend. That man is the son of London's most notorious killer.
Bailiff! Watch Prosecutor Asogi like a hawk. That won't be necessary.
The rapier, then. The rapier! Wait, he has 2 swords, guys! Oh, no! The tip is broken. Oh, I thought that was just a rendering. I thought that was just, like, the model. I genuinely thought that was just the model. The tip is broken. Oh, shit. I thought it was just that the model didn't have enough polys to fucking make it a smooth, curved edge. Oh, shit. If the fragment of metal from the trunk fits together with the end of the sword, the question of who was there with Inspector Gregson will be answered. Agreed, Kazuma Asogi? What a fucking twist.
Expertly done, Ryunosuke. That's a point to you, and well deserved. Do you mean to tell the court, Prosecutor Asogi?
Yes. On 31st October, I accompanied Inspector Gregson to Dunkirk in order to carry out a mission. So the additional person authorized to travel
Was me. And the mission was?
the assassination of the Mark. What? No, this is a facade. You mean you're the killer whose name was omitted from this notebook? You were following the Reaper's orders to dispatch Judge Jigoku?
Let me make one thing perfectly clear. I have killed no one. Explain.
I accepted the assassination mission, yes, and I accompanied Gregson to Dunkirk, but I never had any intention of carrying out the plan. You were never gonna do it? We can believe Kazuma-sama, I'm sure. After all, Judge Jigoku arrived safely in London in the following day.
On the 31st, I boarded a train from London with Inspector Gregson. We traveled to Dover, from where we crossed the Channel Dunkirk, because we boarded the SS Gross and made for the cabin deck, as indicated in the plan.
You went to Judge Jigoku's cabin?
Exactly. He wasn't there, though. We decided to wait, but
you've already told us you had no intention of going through with it anyway.
I didn't come to Great Britain to take anyone's life. So I left Gregson and disembarked the ship. I spent that night at a boarding house in the town and returned to England the following morning.
A boarding house in Dunkirk?
My signature will be in the register book. It would be simple enough to verify. Then, what became of Jigoku? Gregson was no assassin, so the mark was spared. I'm sure it's easy enough to imagine what happened after that. Gregson returned to England as well, having failed to complete the mission. He met with the Reaper in the room on Fresno Street to report the failure, causing the infuriated mastermind to pull the trigger and end his wretched agent's life. That's the real truth behind Inspector Gregson's murder. Objection!
But if you did nothing as you claim, how did the tip of your sword come to be lodged in the inspector's trunk?
I don't need to answer that. The victim was killed by a gunshot. A small fragment of the Japanese blade isn't relevant to the case, and accordingly, I choose to exercise my right to silence on the matter. Be that as it may, the court will sequester that sword as evidence. As you wish, my lord. The great sword Karma has been entered in the court record. We must take immediate action now.
Fuck you, I'm investigating this thing.
Karma, the great blade. Such a thing of beauty, I want to gaze on it for hours. Is there anything we can get from this? Anything at all? The tip of the great sword, broken. Such a shame. It's been so meticulously cared for over the years. You can almost hear Karuma's sobs. Kazuma must have really taken a swing for that to happen. I want to know if there's anything else. Nothing? Nothing else. Really? Nothing to Karma? What? Wait. All that's there is a tip. What? Wait, why is this in evidence then? Okay. We must take immediate action now to verify whether Seishiro Jigoku remains unharmed.
What? Remains unharmed?
I agree. That should be our first priority. It's recently come to my attention that he hasn't been seen since yesterday.
How did you...
When a foreign dignitary invited to Great Britain goes missing for 24 hours, it's only natural that the question of his safety should arise.
You don't mean to say that you think Judge Jigoku may have been killed?
The Reaper has more than one assassin at his disposal, and he has the power to influence to give orders from the inside of a prison cell. Isn't that right, Lord Van Sykes?
If I were truly the Reaper, I'd be able to tell you.
Good. Order! Order in the court! Order! We will take an emergency recess for 30 minutes.
Now?
Guests of the symposium have been told to maintain regular contact with the organizer's office. If the man can't be located within half an hour, we will have to assume the worst.
No, not just Jigoku.
No one would want to kill a harmless Japanese man who'd only arrived in the country. Except, that is, for the Reaper wanting to finish off a mark that slipped through the net 10 years ago. I would have to agree. Mr. Naruhodo, for the defense's sake,
My lord?
I sincerely hope we are successful. If we're unable to confirm Mr. Jigoku's healthy existence in the next 30 minutes, you will face grave difficulties. Court is adjourned for 30 minutes.
And I assume that's where the to be continued is going to occur? Never fucking mind.
Kazuma-sama, the Reaper's assassin. I feel as though I'm in a nightmare.
I can hardly believe it either. But on the other hand, Kazuma isn't in the habit of making up stories.
I have such a terrible sense of foreboding. If something awful has happened to Judge Jigoku, then I feel as though things will only spiral further and further out of control.
I felt it from the moment I stepped into the courthouse this morning. That strange sensation that we were careering towards a foregone conclusion. Well, in the worst case, we might only have 30 minutes left. Fortunately, though, I don't think there's anything we can do but wait. We're out of options.
Actually, there may be one last hand we can play. Or rather, one last ear.
Of course! Please pull it for the law. Fuck! The little Mr. Sholmes doll that Iris gave us. Rip! Oh.
If for some reason you completely run out of options in the trial today, then pull this little Hurley's ear as hard as you possibly can.
Perhaps now is the time. What should I do? Pull Hurley's ears or not pull it? Here goes then. I'm gonna do it.
Good luck, Mr. Naruhodo.
No looking back. Heave! Ow!
That scream sounded like Mr. Sholmes. Oh,
Ow! I mean, it sounds the same. Mr. Sholmes? Where are you? Him, You've confused me. Immediately. Here, my dear fellow, here! It's the felt doll talking!
let's hear again, Mr. Naruhodo, as hard as you can.
All right then, I'll put all my strength into it. Heave! Ow! Please, my dear fellows, you don't need to pull my ear off.
Mr. Sholmes, where are you?
Myself and my trusty partner are presently in the first-class cabin area of the SS Gross. The SS Gross? She left Dover last night after the final pieces of cargo were loaded. We are currently docked at Dunkirk, but due to be underway again in half an hour. You've taken a ship to France? Please! Even with my athletic prowess, I would struggle to jump the Straits of Dover. After we left Baker Street last night, we hurried by cab what the fuck? We hurried by cab to the station and by train to the port in order to board the vessel in time. So, you already worked it out. That the steamship was where everything really took place. Mr. Naruhodo, pray, what is my name? Herlock Sholmes, world-famous great detective. Recited to perfection, well done.
You're a genius, Mr. Sholmes. That's the only word for it.
Ow, 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 ow.
Mr. Zato, gently with the genius's ears, please. Oh my, I'm ever so sorry. If I may,
If I may, Sholmes, is that Jigoku?
Ah, there you are, Mikitoba. Oh, never mind. If I may, Sholmes. Ah, there you are, Mikitoba. You may remember that it was, in fact, I who made the connection to the SS Gross. At Scotland Yard yesterday, when we examined that notebook, I recalled my steamship ticket. But of course it was, my dear fellow. And not once did I controvert that fact. I merely had our court-bound companions out of my name. Yes, you did, didn't you?
We've just entered a recess. The trial resumes in 30 minutes from now. And if we're unable to present any new leads, then I'm afraid to say...
Do not fret, please. It's for precisely that purpose that my partner and I have made this journey. I have no doubt we shall have welcome news for you within a half hour.
Thank you, Mr. Sholmes. That would be wonderful.
Until later, then.
Yes, you'll be hearing from us if you're not in touch first.
Ow, 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 ow! I shan't be hearing anything if you keep tugging my ear in the mindless fashion. Whatever was the idea behind making a receiver operated in that way in the first place, Sholmes? What the deuce would I know? It's Iris's invention, not mine.
Oh, are we playing as Mikitoba?
Whilst I know how much you enjoy being the hero of the hour, Sholmes, we have but half of that now before the Gross puts to sea again. If we don't conclude our investigations rapidly, we shall find ourselves in Naples before long. There are times, Mikitoba, when you make a surprising amount of sense. So, let us begin.
Holy shit, actually?
Holy shit, actually! First class cabin number 2. Yes, this is the one. I don't believe an investigation of the cabin is going to be plain sailing.
Holy shit, it's him! Wait, did he grow his hair out? Or is this a different guy who just looks exactly the same?
A crewman standing in front of the door is an angry-looking fellow.
Why are you loitering here? Who are you?
I assume he's the same Russian motherfucker. My dear fellow, do you not recognize a world-famous great detective when you see one? The question really ought to be, who are you?
Do you not recognize a world-traveling great sailor?
Chicken Stroganoff. Oh, you're his brother. Because dude's name was Biff. It was Biff Stroganoff, and so you're Chicken. Okay.
Great sailor Chicken Stroganoff when you see. Great detective. Ha! I don't think so.
Do you see that, Mikitoba? It would appear that this man is a devoted follower of mine. Goodness me! Is that a tattoo that says Sholmes? I must say, whilst such adoration is flattering, naturally, it does leave me a little cold.
What are you talking about? Leave now!
How distressing. My loyal devotee knows me only by name and not by appearance. And yet, I already know a great deal about you, sir. You have a brother, I believe. Like yourself, he's a shipman, currently traveling in the world aboard a Russian steamship, in fact.
How could you know this?
Elementary, my dear Mikitoba. I'm sure it was. I'm sure it was. 3 days ago, I was bound for London aboard this ship, you see. Oh no, his voice is taking a turn. Hold on, I need water. Alright, we're good. We're looking for one of my fellow passengers, a man by the name of Jigoku.
There is no one with this name on board.
You don't look exactly confident. But we know that he purchased a ticket for passage.
Ah, you mean Eastern Man? He left ship 2 hours ago. Here at Dunkirk, he said something about emergency, I think.
What? Are you sure? So Seishiro realized that we're after him, has he?
Yo, this is insane. What the fuck? His cabin is the one behind you. We should like to investigate, please.
No! I have orders to not let even mouse inside.
Is that why the mousetrap is there? Alright, here I feel better making jokes, because this is less... Mikitoba, be a good man and draw the sailor's attention away, would you? Make up some excuse so that he leaves the area. While he's in...
Doesn't great detective see that even sailors have ears, both left and right?
God, I had a hiccup midway through that. Curses! The plan is ruined! That's so funny. And you have only yourself to blame, I'm afraid, Sholmes.
Forget it. Cabin door is locked. Even if I am not here, you cannot get inside.
Mikitoba, I'm sure you haven't forgotten my special talent, have you? Opening any lock? Within a mere 5 seconds. So, if you'd be so kind as to afford me the requisite time, old friend, in your typically accommodating manner. How could I refuse such a typically unappealing request, old friend? So I need to distract that burly sailor for 5 seconds, do I? Good man! So, the game is afoot. The game is afoot. Holy shit! This is so fucking cool. This is so fucking cool. This is so fucking cool. That looks important. Ah, the switch for the electrical lights. Perhaps if I were to turn off the lights, the crewmen wouldn't be able to see what we're doing. Flick the switch!
Duh, what is happening? Where is light?
Now, Sholmes, now!
Nobody there.
That was a close shave. Quite a knack you have, stumbling so violently in an apparently empty corridor. Do be quiet, Sholmes. I shall have to think of another approach. Fuck. That would have been genius, though, if that worked. Oh, hello. That's a speaking tube for members of the crew to communicate with one another around the ship. If I could just persuade our stocky sailor friend that he needed to use it, Sholmes could unlock the door whilst he was distracted. The question is, how? Door. That's the way back to the deck. But we certainly can't give up now. Oh, the book is irrelevant. Got it. Try that. Do an alarm of some kind. This would appear to be an alarm bell. All hell would break loose if that thing were to ring. The whole crew would know about it.
Set it off!
Here goes then. Pardon me in advance. Ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling.
You! What are you doing? If we were at sea, that would be a very bad problem.
What's going on down there? Seaman Stroganoff, report at once.
Sorry, sir, nothing to report. It was just stupid trick. No, not by me, by Wilfred. No, as I told you.
Now, Sholmes, now! Done. Not even 5 seconds, eh? Well, don't stand there gawping at my brilliance, Mikitoba. In we go! Oh, yes. Whee! Please don't be dead, 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 please don't be dead. No! No! God damn it! 3rd of November, SS Gross First Class Cabin number 2. Oh, look down, you fucking bitch. Good gracious. It would appear that the occupant of this cabin did indeed disembark rather Oh. Oh, I thought that was his corpse. Oh, thank fuck. Those clothes on the floor there. They're Seishiro's without question. Well, it seems we are just a little too late. Yes, by about 2 hours. Still, whilst we're here, we should investigate thoroughly. There may be 2 hours worth of clues to find here. There better not be 2 hours worth of clues. But that burly crewman may return at any moment, Sholmes. Indeed he may. Which makes this all the more thrilling. Alright, well that's the first... I said I was gonna wait until, or I was gonna go until the to be continued, but... Ha! I guess we'll just keep going. There's a speaking tube here, look. Though it's been stopped with some cloth. So the voices of the crewmen of the bridge aren't in the... I see. I didn't even get to read that, and honestly, I don't want to go back. Or indeed, so that the voices in the cabin aren't heard elsewhere. Could something have happened in here that was for no one else's ears, do you think? Either that, or it could be to prevent snakes from entering. It's really become a favorite case of yours, hasn't it? Let's see if there's a stuffed Japanese man in here. According to the report I was given, Naruhodo was concealing himself in Nasogi's wardrobe. Indeed he was, and it was for a similar size to this one. Ah, you must climb inside yourself, my dear fellow. What? Whatever for? It was the site of my first fateful meeting with Mr. Naruhodo. You can experience the moment for yourself now, complete with my dramatic rhetoric. Come along now, in you go. This will only take a moment. Really, Shom, surely you can't tell me what you said. Well, I uttered some brilliant remark and opened the wardrobe to reveal the stowaway murderer. I think I should read about it in the Adventures of Herlock Sholmes. There's ice in that. I've seen Megamind! Quite the exquisite glass, I must say. See here, how it still has ice in it. Is something wrong, Sholmes? He suddenly trailed off. Ice, Mikitaba, ice! What opulence! The first-class passengers enjoy chilled drinks. It's literally ice. Look, ice cubes. Yes, that's what happens. That's what happens when water gets cold. No, I know, but isn't it a little weird that they're still cold? Shouldn't they have melted by now? Creak! Literally just the Megamind scene. Pardon? Could it be that the steamship is equipped with an electrically refrigerated cold room? Do you... Somewhere that Gregson could have been stored? Could it be that the steamship is equipped with an electrically refrigerated cold room, do you think? Well, it is a luxury liner after all. They have enormous refrigerators for storing all sorts of lavish produce, as well as ice. On our voyage from Japan, we enjoyed culinary delights from all over the world. Huh. Suddenly, Mikitaba, the sight of you is making my mouth water. What? Gay? Question mark? That was a little bit of a fruity statement there. Sholmes? Okay. I've been taking on the flavor of the food I ate, you know. Fucking... No, but that's relevant, though! That's fucking relevant! Ice, motherfucker! Someone was in here recently! Let's just start with the... That's a very sizable trunk indeed. Seishiro is partial to all things large. And a rather clumsy fellow if he failed to notice he'd left that behind. Perhaps he left it on purpose. It's lighter than you might think, but it's still a hindrance to a speedy escape. Huh, pity. It's locked, so we can't look inside. Surely 5 seconds from now, the situation will be quite different, though? Sadly not, it has a 7-digit combination lock. And I'm not in a morose enough mood to work through all the combinations at present. Fun. That's a substantial heap of clothes on the floor. An overcoat, shirts, a dressing gown, momohiki work trousers, a tanzen robe, a haramaki waistband. Clearly the clothing of a Japanese man. And clearly Japanese men are unaccustomed to the culture of the wardrobe. Looks to me as if they've been thrown in a heap like that in something of a hurry. Indeed, you could help yourself to a Japanese man's shirt, perhaps. Well, you got far quickly. I read fast. Smile. I'm sure you made mention of packing too few. Very likely drown in one of Seishiro's shirts. No, I'll just buy any extras I need, I think. Right, fuck you then. Let's do this then. They moved the rules. This wall is slightly different color just here, do you see? Indeed. What you have observed arises when a frame that has been hanging for some time is removed. Perhaps your friend is an art thief. Now there's a bold deduction worthy of a great detective, I'm sure. He may very well be elusive thief who has been plaguing France's galleries of late. Think perhaps we should focus our attentions elsewhere, Sholmes, don't you? That outline on the wall. I feel as though I might have spotted something of a similar shape and size elsewhere. Oh, there it is! These are the rules of passage. Passengers must not keep weapons and dangerous items, and they can't keep pets. Yep. Dangerous objects in their cabins. Pets are also strictly forbidden. You know what's fucking wild? I'm gonna save real quick just because I don't want to lose everything I've done. Fucking look at that. But also, that's wild. Me and my friend, I've said this before, but me and my friends were playing the game, and we haven't even gotten past like the first game. And they're on the SS Buria, and we're on the SS Gross. I love that. Passengers must not keep other dangerous objects in their cabins. Pets are also strictly forbidden, and I remember that from the other case. Additionally, there are some severe punishments for stowing away in wardrobes and on travel kit. Did they add that because of me? Aha! I feel the rules have increased since I last read them. Probably just my imagination. What about the fact that they're not straight on the wall? Doesn't that strike you? You may be right. Probably just your imagination, though, a trifle. And you know what I always say, Mikito, but there is nothing important about trifles. Probably just my imagination, but I think that might be slightly off. Okay, so this got moved for some reason. Plenty of reading material to keep passengers occupied on the long sea voyages. I found that mixture of classic literature and easy reading to be most satisfactory, I must say. Whoever stocked this bookcase was a hopeless heretic. There's no copy of The Adventure of Herlock Sholmes, my dear fellows. I'm afraid it's just me, but no, you're quite right. More blasphemous than overlooking the Bible. I shall leave a copy behind. I just happen to have one with me. You're a true missionary of the Church of Great Detectives, aren't you? Okay. Fucking door. All the doors on this vessel have locks, I believe. A wise idea. You never know where or when criminals may strike, like through snakes. But of course, to the great detective Herlock Sholmes, lock, bolt, or shirt button, it makes no difference. All are unfastened with equal ease. The way you go on, you sound rather more like a great thief than a great detective. My dear Mikatelba, as long as there is greatness, I am quite satisfied. Of course you are. Oh, trash bin. That was important last time. This is a wastekeeper basket, look. And there's still rubbish inside. Indeed? Then let us pry. I've discovered recently I have a penchant for exploring the contents of others' waste paper baskets. I sincerely hope only for your work. Ah. Here we have notice issued to passengers from 3 days ago. 3 days ago? The night before we arrived in London, then. When I was still aboard myself. What does that say? Evacuation drill note. Dick? Can I read it? No, I can't. Ah, yes, there was an evacuation drill. I remember now.
For our safety and security, all first-class passengers were constantly under the watchful eye of the crew, so it was a welcome relief to have some privacy for once. Evacuation notice. Interesting. Can I read this now? Myself?
Oh, hey, chicken!
You are still here? Ah! Able Seaman Stroganoff, hello again. I was beginning to think you'd never materialize.
Eh? You were waiting for me.
Of course! I was expecting you to burst in with a hearty Russian profanity far sooner. I was in trouble with Captain because of trick you played before. Poor innocent chicken. I can't look at the court record. Wait, let me move my fucking Fugi. Oh shit, I actually don't have fucking access to it. What the fuck? I mean, I guess that makes sense, but what the fuck? It is all your fault. Ship is leaving port soon. Get off now. Of course, we shall disembark presently, my dear fellow, but first, there is something that must be done.
What are you talking about?
Oh, are we doing a Shomes Spectacular where Mikitoba's involved? That's fucking sick. Why, naturally.
Debunking of your deceit and the bearing of the truth.
Kakoi? I fucked that up probably.
I'm afraid I see through your lies.
For one thing.
Oh. Mr. Jigoku has not yet left this vessel at all.
And for another, my dear Seaman Stroganoff.
You know exactly where the man is, even as we speak, don't you?
How can you?
Good gracious, Soames. You mean you've worked it out? All of it? No, it was a bluff. It was a fucking bluff. I fucking love you, Shomes. I love that kind of shit. Like, when you, like, accuse someone of something, and your source is, I made it the fuck up, but they react to it so you know it's true. That shit is, I love that so fucking much. It's really been too long, hasn't it, old friend? 10 years, no less. So, would you care to join me for a dance of my inimitable logic and reasoning? Oh, we are doing a logic and reasoning spectacular. Nothing would please me more. Oh, we're doing a logic and reasoning spectacular.
What is this?
Bitch. We have but minutes until the vessel puts to sea. No games now. Oh, this music! Wait! Time is of the essence, I guess. Okay, sorry. Mr. Stroganoff, allow me to remind you of your earlier claim. Hold on, let me hear this. Ooh! Yo! This shit's insane. All right, let's go. This is gonna be sick. Mr. Stroganoff, allow me to remind you of your earlier claim. You told us that Jigoku left the ship some 2 hours ago.
Duh! That is what I said!
Sadly, that was a rather clumsy lie. You see, there is something in this room that quite clearly contradicts it.
What?
Ah, yes, of course. I see you've noticed it too, Mikitoba. Then please, do take the lead. What in this cabin shows the impossibility of Jigoku having disembarked? Let's see what the last 3 years have done to your observation skills then, Mikitoba. It's been 10 years since we last did this, Shomes, not 3. Why, of course it has, quite! Now, all the clues are here in this cabin for your eyes to see. But, as I always say, you must not merely look, but observe. Observe, and then answers become clear. So, impress me! I think I can manage that. I fucking love this. Glass containing ice, pussy! Oh, what the fuck? He did fucking tap dancing, holy shit! Perhaps you should have cleared away that glass. How curious that the ice shouldn't have melted despite being abandoned 2 hours ago. The dance, bro! Holy shit, this is hype! Ugh.
It would appear that the man was here in the very cabin until moments before our arrival. With this well-chilled glass in hand, get your mind off the refreshments, Sholmes. One might even conclude that somebody informed him of our boarding. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Stroganoff?
Yeah.
But why would Seishiro run from us? Before we consider that question, allow me to confirm one smaller matter. Would I be correct in saying that these first-class cabins of the SS Gross are the same ones which you and Mr. Jigoku were accommodated on your voyage from Japan?
That's right, they are.
I was in the cabin next door, and Seishiro was, yes.
50 days in this very cabin during our voyage.
As I suspected, for you see, there are traces in this cabin of a dark secret that Mr. Jigoku had to hide.
What traces?
I know nothing about this.
Ah, this is news to you, is it, Mr. Stroganov?
Sholmes, what exactly are you getting at?
As I said, there are traces in this cabin of some nefarious activity. Something that appears out of place, which I'm quite sure won't have escaped your notice.
Something out of place in here.
That's the key to this, Mikitoba. The remnants of a dark deed that took place here are being masked. I didn't get to read the rest of it, but fuck me, I guess. I must say, I didn't foresee ever doing this dance of deduction with you again, Mikitoba.
No, quite. But life is full of unexpected twists and turns, as we well know. Oh, I love it. Oh, I love it. They play off each other so fucking well. I love them. Now then, let's see if I can uncover the truth here. Yes, you have the floor, my dear fellow. It's this.
Take that!
Take that! I have a voice line, bitch! Look at me go! It's the rules of passage in this frame here. They're obviously out of place. The way they're hanging crooked on the wall, as if they were put there in a hurry. Yes, as I'm sure you've already concluded, that frame was originally over there. The shape and size are a perfect match.
Duh! You are right. When did Fred move?
Hardly the most observant of crewmen, are you, Mr. Stroganov? I would think your captain is quite justified in having his reservations about your reliability. Oh dear, that really seemed to touch a nerve. So, Mikitoba, why don't you lift the frame off the wall? A bullet hole. Ah! Hello, Gurgi! Thank you for the follow! I appreciate it! Thank you! That... hello? I don't know what that was. Whoop, 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 whoop. That looks like a bullet hole!
What? Who has been shooting walls?
I see. The projectile has been removed. Clearly, the careful occupant of this room has already disposed of it. Now then, Mr. Stroganov, I have the distinct impression that you're attempting to shield said occupant.
I don't know what you are talking about. Why would I try to protect Eastern Stranger?
Ah, so we're talking about the same man, I see. Good. We didn't tell you who we were talking about, bitch. I'm sure we can get to the bottom of this in no time, aren't you? Because there's some very noteworthy evidence that explains the reasoning why you're lying for the man. Yes, you've been told to keep up this pretense, as clearly, wait, what was it? As clearly what? As clearly shown by. Really don't know how to approach this one, Sholmes. Ah, my dear Mikitoba, simply keep first principles in mind. Study your subject from every angle. And I'm quite sure that you'll see it. In fact, I'd put a wager on it. So I'm to glare at the fellow from all sides. Well, I can certainly do that. I know what side it is. But I also just want to see all sides. Oh. Oh. Not what I was thinking, but... You know? You've been paid off, and that's how you know... Alright. Alright, we got this.
Take that!
Take that! Now let me go bibbidi-bibbidi-ba! Bibbidi-bibbidi-bibbidi-ba! It's almost too obvious for words. Quite the universal language of the world. Money. Ugh. And I'd wager that the Eastern fellow in question is Seishiro Jigoku, yes? Ugh. So, I presume you'll realize what this means. There are clear signs that a crime has been committed in this cabin. And the way you're going, sir, you'll find yourself accused of being an accomplice. But... I believe you know, Mr. Stroganoff. You know where Mr. Jigoku is hiding at this precise moment in time. Oh, and just like that, your gaze, ooh, your fucking gaze, bitch. As always, Mikitoba, in matters of deductions, the furtive glance is your unfaltering ally. Yes, I think you're onto something there, Sholmes. You found the chink in the... Was it the chink in the burly fellow's armor? Oh, I don't know why that threw me off. You found the chink in the burly fellow's armor. We need only to follow the man's gaze to know where our prey is hiding. The slightest flicker of the pupils. A minutely delayed blink. Nothing escapes my attention, even that which is barely I fucked up that word. We're not even gonna try. You could hardly call this barely perceptible, Sholmes. The man turned his entire head. It's not exactly what you describe as a furtive glance, is it? It's almost too obvious. We shall let your tapping toes decide, my dear fellow. Here we fucking go. He's looking at the case.
Take that!
Take that! Now here we go! I love him. You turned immediately to look at this large trunk, didn't you? Ugh! Twinkle tells me, literally, I love it so much. The truth is, Seishiro Jigoku was unable to escape from the ship in time, and is, at this very moment, doing his best to stifle his breath inside this trunk. Or stifle, whatever. If he still has a breath to take, I fear he may be running dangerously though on air, huh? Vui Luton. I imagine he didn't count on us making a nuisance of ourselves for quite as long. I think it would be in everyone's best interest for us to open the trunk as quickly as possible. But how can we? If we're getting the combination lock, we don't know the 7-digit code. The combination lock can't be opened from the inside the trunk. Therefore, there must have been an arrangement for somebody to open it after our departure. Of course. In short, before Jigoku hid himself in that trunk, he must have told somebody the 7-digit number. SHOLME. Come on. He must have told somebody the 7-digit number for the lock. As I'm sure you can confirm, Mr. Stroganoff. Yeah, it's right there. No, I know nothing about combination code. Don't move a muscle, my good seaman.
Huh?
Now, Mikitoba.
Would you do the honors and open that trunk?
How on earth do you expect... It's a 7-digit number, remember. Quickly now, we have little time. So what? Hold on. 4 or 5? Okay. It was 5-2 Sholmes. It's Sholmes, but backwards, so... Wait, 5... Hold on. Wait. 5-2... That... Is it just Sholmes? So 5... 4... Sholmes. SH 0 1. Nope, that's a 5. Okay.
5... L... 1 again? E, I think, was the 2. And then...
Take that!
Did I get it? Damn it! Fuck you!
No, it's refusing to open.
Tell me. Okay, hold on. Let me look at this. So 5, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 5, 2, 3, 4. No, 5, 2, 3, 1, 0, 4, 5. I'm writing that down. I'm gonna forget it. Hold on. Oh, wait! Briz, you wrote it in chat. Or you wrote Shomes in chat. Not as a spoiler thing. You just wrote his name. So, okay, I can just use that. Thank you for that. It was probably intentional, or like unintentional, I mean. I don't think you meant to give me an answer, but fucking thank God you put your birthday. Interesting. Since as of today, that was absurd guesswork. You're dead to me. As measured as ever in response, Shomes. Okay, I know what it is. I just fucked up. So it's 5, 2, 3, 1, 0, 4, 5.
Lol, I didn't mean to give it. No, I know. That wasn't meant to be like a joke because you were doing like Louis Vuitton, but you switched the letters. It was like Herlock Sholmes. But it just happened to help.
So I had this almost right. So it's 5, 2. Well, no, it should be the other way, right? 5, 2. 5, 2, 3. 1. That stays 1. This is the 4. And then this, right?
Take that!
Yeah, there we go, bitch.
Click. Do we do a dance? Come on.
That did it. It's open. It's open. I don't know what happened to my voice.
You had to meddle, didn't you? There he is.
Damn, you are.
Well, Eugen, you found me now.
Seishiro. I was really hoping beyond hope not to find you here, you know?
But you're not entirely unsurprised, I take it?
No, quite. Just wish it was some other way. Well, are you ever going to introduce me?
Ah, your reputation precedes you, Mr. Sholmes. I've read stories of many of your exploits.
Excuse my manners, Sholmes. This is Mr. Jigoku, my old friend and traveling companion, and apparently, Mr. Briefcase. The devil is in the details, Mikito. I believe you meant to say your old friend and traveling companion. Who made the cowardly decision to flee the country without a word to anyone when things turned sour?
I see my reputation precedes me as well. What an honor.
Well, Seishiro, are you going to explain all this?
You know it all by now, I imagine. What do you think?
I just completely made up a sentence there. I don't know how the fuck I did that, but here we are.
What you didn't know, of course, is that 3 days ago, on the night before our arrival in Britain, an attempt was made on my life here on this very ship.
By the Reaper of the Bailey? Yes, I've since heard. Because you were once prosecuted by the Reaper, weren't you? 10 years ago now, mind you.
And I had no idea at the time what a dangerous individual he was. Anyway, when we arrived in London to find the symposium was postponed until goodness knows when, it became all too apparent to me that I might very well be targeted again.
So you decided to flee the capital without saying a word to me about it?
I'm afraid so, yes. Of course, I realize now that I really ought to have confided in you.
Somewhat surprising, I must say. Yep, I knew it.
What is?
Well, first-class cabins aboard luxury steamships are in very short supply. It's more than a little hard to believe that this one just happened to be available.
So says the protagonist of some colorful short stories. Well, I don't care for your opinion. Jigoku, the cabin did just happen to be available, so I purchased a ticket, and here I am.
I've just seen for myself the obvious remnants of that incident in this cabin. So you'd already purchased your return ticket before we even docked in Dover, had you? To prevent anyone else taking this cabin and seeing the evidence, is that it?
Eugen, I have nothing to say to you.
Well, in a mere 5 minutes, this ship will set off on its onward voyage and not make port again until Italy. I'm afraid we must insist that you disembark with us at once.
You have no jurisdiction over my movements.
We have this, Seishiro. Take it.
What is it?
It's a subpoena from the Old Bailey. You're a man of the law. You know what the ramifications of ignoring a document like this from the British courts would be.
You came prepared then, Eugen.
Come on, let's go. One moment. What is it, Sholmes? Inside Mr. Jigoku's trunk, I found this rather fascinating trinket. What is that? Seishiro?
I can't help you, I'm afraid. Some small component from something? But what? But what? I have no idea.
By the look on his face, I think he genuinely doesn't know. Well, let us pocket it as a small souvenir for our brief sojourn in France. France. Small component, a small machine part that Mr. Sholmes found in Judge Jigoku's cabin on the SS. Gross. Well, young Naruhodo, I think we've done as much as we can, I'm afraid. The rest will be on the shoulders of you and your assistant, my daughter. To be continued? Damn, we're still going! November 3rd, 12:10 p.m., the Old Bailey courtroom. Oh shit, we're back! When the fuck is that to be continued, Brit? I'm kidding. Kazuma Sogi, I know you, and I know you wouldn't lie, but still, there's no doubt that you're holding something back. You know more than you're saying. I forgot that sound effect.
During the past 30 minutes, while this court was adjourned, all possible efforts were expended. But sadly, Mr. Jigoku's whereabouts could not be ascertained.
That's a lie, that's a cope, that's a motherfucking bullshit! We must accept the unfortunate conclusion that the Reaper has already done the deed. Ugh. There's no sense in wasting any more of the court's time. The prosecution calls for an immediate verdict. Objection! No, the trial cannot end now. You're a Japanese man, Ryunosuke. You should know when to lay down your sword. You are one to fucking talk. Your sword is broken. And you should know never to presume when the battle is won. The court has already been presented with all the evidence and heard all relevant testimony. And there can only be one conclusion, that the accused is guilty. All relevant testimony, far from it. There's still a crucial witness from whom the court is yet to hear a single word of testimony.
In that case, call your witness for this to the stand at once, counsel.
Yes, my lord. Tomorrow, if possible. The witness is already on his way and scheduled to arrive tomorrow. Who the fuck? Who on earth is the crucial witness? Seishiro Jigoku. Oh, we got word back. Wait, can I look at the shit I can. Finally, Jesus. Evacuation drill notice 31st October. Following departure from the port of Dunkirk, all crew members are required to assemble on the main deck at 10 p.m. In order to review evacuation procedures. Drill will take 20 minutes. Crew... Okay, that's it. That is literally all of it. And a small contraption. See the little things all over the place, don't you? It's part of the top pocket watch that you
Oh, it's called the crown, I believe. A watch would be quite useful without one. Or would it be a crown? Like what sits on top of a monarch's head. It's a very grand name for such a tiny part. But actually, yes, Mr. Naruto? This is a crown. I have a feeling I might have seen a monarch around here somewhere with a very bare head. If by monarch you mean pocket watch, then I'm quite sure you have. Yeah, this is for the dear old stopwatch. What do you think, Mrs. Otto? I feel sure I know exactly what will fit here. Really? I was just thinking precisely the same thing. We're about to see that the little round component is actually part of Inspector Gregson's broken pocket watch. Really? I was just thinking precisely that too. It's absolutely crazy. Oh, beautiful, a perfect fit. Mwah. A perfect fit? I knew it! Alright, perhaps you knew it. I'll make a note of this new information at once. And it was found with Jingoku. Red flag immediately, but I think that's literally all we have left. Yep, is these things. So, all right. The very man allegedly murdered by the Reaper.
Judge Jigoku? You found him? But the investigations of every policing resource in the capital suggest that Jigoku is already dead. How in the name of God did you find the man?
He was located in France during the recess at the port of Dunkirk. Thanks to one of Mr. Herlock Sholmes' famous deductions.
Herlock Sholmes.
Inspector Gregson almost certainly met with Mr. Jigoku on the night of his death, because along with Prosecutor Asogi, Gregson was on a mission to assassinate the man. Which means that Seishiro Jigoku is the sole witness who can clarify exactly what happened aboard the SS Gross on the 31st of October.
Well, it would appear that it's too soon to move to adjudication at this point. The prosecution concurs. The court must hear Mr. Jigoku's testimony. No judgment should be passed until all testimony has been considered. In that case, I hereby call for the end of today's proceedings. Court will reconvene at the same hour tomorrow. No objections from either side?
No, my lord.
No objections, my lord.
Do I get to say something? Nope, I guess not. All right. We live to fight another day by the skin of our teeth.
Damn, that's fucking crazy. Is that the end? To be continued, baby.
Woo! We're actually... That took 4 hours. Now tell me. I must check my Twitch. Like my fucking actual real account. Are we going into investigation or are we going... Oh, come on, man. Let me see if this ended up splitting up. I'm afraid. Oh, wow, it actually didn't. Wow, we had no issues today. That's fucking wild. Also, holy shit. Actually getting to play as Mikitoba and Sholmes and seeing how well they play off each other. And, like, Sholmes was actually right. That's the thing. Sholmes never, like, actively was wrong in this. And that's fucking wild. Insane, even. Good lord, that's so cool. That was sick. I loved that. That was probably the best part of that entire fucking thing. Also, I got to little brush off my shoulders real quick. I got to do a little bit of acting more than normal and more intense when Gina fucking cried her eyes out and it was really sad. But I got to, you know, actually act sad, which was kind of fucking cool. I got to actually pull out the acting chops. I don't know why I said it like that. Holy hell, that was really good. For the start of the last, like, chapter, that was a good one. I really enjoyed that. But I shall now end stream. I'm going to see if anyone is streaming this particular game. And then if someone is, shut up. Do we see anyone here? Let's do this one, sure. Let's do this one, so... what is her name? Nope, hold on. The Steel Twins, I believe that is how you spell that? Yep, the Steel Twins. Alright, there we go. The raid is happening. We're getting that going. Thank you everyone for coming by. This shit was insane and really fun. Really enjoyed today. And I will see you all tomorrow. Or, yeah, no, tomorrow. I have a stream tomorrow. I forgot. Alright.